In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make tech house like hot since 82, and the final result sounds like this. Hi, my name is Vlad and I help electronic music producers transform ideas into commercial club bangers. If you want to learn how to make music like in this video, then simply join my Facebook group and I'm going to teach you how to make a commercial club track from scratch just in 6 weeks. Sound design, arrangement, mixing, mindset tricks, everything you need to know to make a good commercial track. And if you are looking for personal coaching, I do that as well. All the links are down below. Don't forget to grab my free cheat sheet called 7 Things You Don't Need to Become a Music Producer. And let's start with the tutorial. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do today is the low end. Let me show you guys the low end, the kick, the bass. I have a kick and 2 basses. So it sounds like this. This track has a really deep kick and the bass. And for the main bass, basically I'm utilizing the root note. So as you can see here, nothing that complicated, just a root note. And as you can see, we have a lot of space in between the notes. And I'm filling the space with the second bass, like the 808 bass. And together they sound just like this. Yeah, so really simple bass line, but when we are combining different sounds, we are able to get more complex sounds. So this is the picture that I made for the previous tutorial, but basically the concept is similar. We combine different sounds, so as you can see, we have 1, 2, and 3 sounds, and altogether they produce a more complex sound. And basically for the bass itself, if you would imagine our bass line like this, so let's say we have something like this, something like this, and something like this. So this is gonna be our main bass, right? And we are trying to fill this space with some additional, this is gonna be the groove bass, right? So this is basically what I've done for my bass line for this track. So the next thing is this rhythm pluck, and it sounds like this. So as you can see, I'm utilizing the root note here again, and basically this one I'm just jumping 1 octave up, and basically that's it. So this one, it creates rhythm and movement. So let me draw this on the paper for you. For example, if we have like the bass line, this is going to be the bass, and we want to have some rhythm going, right? Maybe like this, maybe like this. So this is going to be our rhythm, pluck, right? For movement. Otherwise, without additional rhythms, your track can be boring. We don't want that. So this is why you want to. Try and add some additional elements to your track. All right. So it sounds like this together with the bass. I also have this effect kind of stab, and together with this pluck and the bass line, it sounds like this. You can feel that it adds some depth and some new character, new vibe to the track. So basically what we are doing here, we are trying to add some additional elements. So for example, I think it was somewhere here. Let's say it was, all right, so here, maybe here. So this is going to be the atmos, maybe effects. But basically the purpose is to add some depth to the mix, so it goes with a lot of reverb. It goes like to the background of the track. So we are filling the space on the back of the track, right? So that's the purpose of adding additional elements. All right, so I hope it makes sense. I also have this lead fill, really basic stuff. Altogether, it sounds like this. You can feel that every element that you add to the track, it makes the track more interesting, but it's always about the balance here. If you add too much, it's going to be too complicated and it's going to be hard to mix. It's going to be hard to understand for people. So always try to balance it like properly. So it's pretty minimal, but this at the same time it's interesting, because in music, less is more, and it's better to focus on the existing elements and try to make them more interesting with, you know, resampling, with automation. You can do a bunch of stuff like with your elements, with existing instruments. And yeah, I have one. Yeah, actually, let me show you the notes. Basically, I'm just jumping like one octave up, so it's just the same note, right? And I also have this one more effects kind of sound, and basically it has the same purpose. So maybe we can use another color. Maybe you can add somewhere here. It's going to be the effects, right? Just like this, and basically the same purpose. We're filling the background of the track, so that's going to be the background, right? And what else do we have here? And yeah, basically at the end of the loop, just almost the same pattern. I'm doing like this to create some additional tension. And to make it more interesting, I've jumped one octave up. And basically that's it. That's everything for the melodic elements. So let me show you this real quick. So here, let's imagine that this is gonna be our loop. Let's say this is gonna be like 4 bars, right? And after that, we have like a new 4 bars, right? This one. And here, you see that you have some free space. And to make it more interesting, we need to add like a fill, right? It can be the bass, it can be drums, can be effects, like some melodic elements. But basically, the purpose is to make the transition smoother. So we don't have, you know, something like this is going to be empty, right? And this space is empty, right? If it's empty, it's going to be boring, and this is not what we want in our tracks and our music. You want your music to sound professional at the end of the day. So this is why you should think about like adding these elements. So let me play you the melodic elements without the drums, and after that I'll break it down for you, the drums and the effects section. So as you can see, those little fills, they really make the track like interesting. If I remove these, I mean, mean, it still sounds nice. And one more trick you can use to keep your arrangements minimal is this like double kick at the end of your loop. So it sounds like this. And this also helps to glue your glue the different parts of the track together, basically. If I do something like this, so let's call this like one block, right? Like one block or loop, which can be like 4, it can be 8 bars, and these elements, they help you to glue your blocks together. All right, so let's play this with the drums, and let's break down these now. Yeah, alright, so for the claps, it's some really basic stuff. I've layered 3 samples. Actually it was, yeah, it was one only. So I'm going to delete this, because sometimes you can stick like to one sample. Sometimes it can be too thin, but in some cases it may work. So basically just one sample, and it looks like this. Nothing that complicated. I don't think we need to focus on that like a lot. Let me copy this. And for the open hat, I think, yeah, I have a ride like this with a long attack. It's pretty quiet, because if you make it too loud and when it's long, it's not going to sound like really good. So let me show you real quick. That's too loud, so -6, maybe -9. I think -12 is a sweet spot. So basically we have the main hat, classic house hat, we have the ride, and some additional open hats. I'm sorry, not open hats, but like closed hats with like long attack. As you can see, without the attack, it's not as soft. It has a transient. I wanted to remove the transient. You can feel that it adds some nice groove to the track. And together with the shakers, so for the shaker, it's really basic loop. Just, you know, just a shaker. But there's one more cool trick I've done to the shaker. So if you guys can see, I'm using a vocoder, and without it, it's just a basic shaker, right? But with the vocoder, it sounds like this. Like, it's more noisy. Because in the original track that I was trying to recreate, the shakers, they were pretty noisy. So this is why I used a vocoder here. So that was the reason. Here I have like a crash to like kind of emphasize the drop when the kick hits together with the bass, and when everything starts. Here I have a transition and a snare built just like this. Maybe we can open the filter a little, and altogether it sounds like this. Yeah, and finally we have this like top fill, like just a sound, like short loop, to make it a little bit like more interesting. All together. And finally, basically that was the same thing as in the original track, is this cowbell, to add more rhythm to the track. So even without the claps, the hats, you can feel the groove, and this helps a lot. sometimes you just need one single element, like one rhythm, one percussive sound, one lead sound to make your track sound full. That's the thing. You don't need to overthink it and make it too complicated. Sounds really good together. So let's listen just one more time before we end the tutorial. So from the build-up. There was actually one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it's this like atmospheric kind of sound. This one I've used to add some background noise, because when you are utilizing like Foley sounds, like noises, it makes the track more interesting, because without this, I felt like it was a bit too empty. I wanted something like a background, like some noises. You can use like Foley sounds, you can record stuff. Like when you're outside, I'm always recording some cool sounds, like maybe in a town, when I'm in forest. When I hear something cool, I always try to capture it. And then after that, I'm using this in my tracks, and this is how you can spice up your tracks too. So really simple stuff. I've used some warping, just like this. Actually, let's go back. Yeah. To kind of add some rhythm. And yeah, basically that was it. You can see that it's not as complex when you break it down, and basically that was it, guys. So yeah, I hope you liked the tutorial, and if you learned something new, please subscribe to the channel, leave your comment below. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss my videos and important news. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button under this video too. And once again, guys, if you would like to learn how to make music like in this video, then simply join my Facebook group, and I'm going to teach you how to make a commercial club track in just 6 weeks. Arrangement, sound design, mixing, composition, music marketing, everything you need to know to start making music professionally in terms like of the sound. And also don't forget about the cheat sheet and personal coaching. If you need help, just book a time for a free strategy call, and I'll talk to you and try to help you as much as I can. All right, so that was it for today, guys, and I see you in the next one.